Jesus, thank you so much for today. Thank you that we get to be here after a nice summer break that hopefully was filled with fun and with joy, with time with friends and family and times of rest. We're grateful to be back here today, preparing for another school year. We're grateful for all the students and families that are here, all of the staff that is here, that you brought everyone here and placed them in this room for a reason and for a purpose. We are grateful to see what you have in store for us this year, Lord. So we pray as we go through our first look at orientation today and get ready for our school year, that you would help to equip us and prepare us for success academically, spiritually, and to be responsible citizens as we go out into the school and into this community. We pray you prepare us well for this year, that you prepare each of these students' hearts and minds to start the year strong and to be ready to learn, to grow, to have fun, to enjoy another year, or maybe a first year in junior high, as we get ready to see what you have in store for the sake of our joy and for your glory, Lord. We pray you bless this year, bless our time today, and help it to be all for the sake of your glory. Right?
Awesome, thank you, Mr. Fortune. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. As I mentioned, I am Mrs. Painter. I'm the vice principal on campus, but I have been on this campus since I was in kindergarten. I went to school here, and then decided this is where I wanted to become a teacher, and went through all of my schooling and came back and became a teacher. I've taught the Learning Center, I've taught kindergarten for a number of years, junior high math, junior high social studies, been junior high director, still currently am. I oversee NJHS. I ran Camp Oasis for a number of years. I was a camper there back in the day. I was a counselor there back in the day too. And then I also have my certificate as a teacher mentor. So I do mentor some of our teachers on this campus as well. Last December, we welcomed our little big boy, Austin. So he is 8 months old and crawling around and so much fun. So I'm not at school, but I'm enjoying Mama. Our goals on this campus is to make sure that your child leaves with 3 main things: that they are spiritually equipped, that they are academically prepared, and that they are responsible citizens. We want to partner with you. Our community is stronger as a pair and as a team. So your junior high teaching staff and all the staff on this campus, I think that's the beauty of coming to a smaller private school, is that we want to know you and we want you to know us, and we want to support your child in every way, shape, and form, spiritually, academically, emotionally, whatever that might look like. So please know that lines of communication are always open. You can email any of your junior high teachers at any time. You can email me at any time. You can schedule a phone call, schedule a conference, schedule an appointment to meet with us. Whether there are good things going on at home we want to know about, or whether there's hardships going on at home. We want to come alongside and walk alongside you to not only support you as a family, but your child as well. So please, if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, please reach out to your classroom teacher first. Allow them the opportunity to come alongside you, and then if need be, contact myself or Dr. Pettinger as well. We as a junior high teaching staff meet weekly, and we are talking daily. So we are all kind of in the loop and the know of what is going on with all of our students on campus. It's a blessing, and for some of our students, they wish we weren't that close, right? We want to work with you. So please, if there's anything, reach out and let us know so we can partner with you. All right, let's get you ready and prepared for the first week of school. So come prepared. Please have all your supplies ready. It's also great ideas to label your supplies, because they, especially with our 6th graders getting used to going to so many classes, things just inevitably get left behind. And if it's labeled, we get it quickly back to your child. And then Chromebook agreement forms. Those are going to be in your child's orientation packet today. They're going to be due on the first day of school. So please make sure you go through your orientation packet with your child and look at all those things so that they come to school prepared with what needs to get turned in. And then your PE uniforms, make sure you get those washed and cleaned and ready to go. Students will start wearing their PE clothes in my key dates here. PE close Friday, August 28th, will be the first day that everyone will come to school in their PE clothes. The first 2 days of school, kids can just wear their normal streetwear. And then electives and PE cycle will kind of swap back and forth that following Monday. So Monday, August 31st, okay? For those of us that are new and or my 6th grade families, students either come to school in their PE clothes on PE days, or they come to school in their street clothes on elective days. It rotates back and forth depending on what grade level your child is in. And you can find those PE elective days on the back of your child's schedule card that they will get in their orientation packet today. Or you can also always find it on our bell schedule that is located on our website underneath our junior high tab, okay? Know your routines. Make sure we're following our daily schedules. Again, you can find that on our school website. Make sure we get to class on time. My 6th graders, I know we're super stressed about getting to class, okay? Just try your best. There's a lot of grace given in the first weeks of school. We just want to see that you're hustling and trying to get into class on time, okay? Use your class time wisely, stay on task. Ask for help if you need it. So we need you guys to advocate for yourselves. Obviously, the teachers pay as close of attention as they possibly can to see what's going on and who needs extra help. But if you're lost or confused or something's going on, please say something to someone so we can come and help you, okay? And then big important thing in junior high differs from elementary. We start class promptly at 8:20, which means we need to be on campus no later than 8:15 and starting to head to class by 8:15, so that we are ready to go by 8:20. We start our school day a little bit earlier just to kind of help clear kids off the playgrounds at different times. But also we have to do some extra things in junior high in the morning. We do morning devotion with them every single morning, and we just want to make sure we have enough time in our school day to fit all those things in. On the opposite end, we go all the way up until 3 o'clock with our school day. So that means our junior high students are getting out of class at 3 o'clock and they are hustling as fast as they can to get to Carline by 3:05. So, especially with our 6th grade students who are new at their locker and trying to figure all the systems out, give your child a little bit of extra time in Carline to get out to Carline. I know you guys want to get through Carline as fast as possible, but from a time standpoint, our Carline starts at 3:05 and we're done by 3:20. Every single car is through Carline no matter what in 15 minutes. And the later you come in Carline, the quicker you actually move through it because majority of the traffic has come through. So it really is best for our junior high parents if you can just hold back just a little bit coming to Carline, so that way we're not blocking all the elementary traffic, because it does take our junior hires a little bit longer to get out to Carline. As the year goes on, they get quicker and faster with it, but especially at the beginning of the year. Okay. Sorry, one more note about Carline. I just saw. In your child's orientation packet, you will also see a car placard. It looks like a tiny little car with a hook on it that is to be hung over your rearview mirror. It has your last name and your child and your children's grade levels on it. Please put that in your car so that way we can quickly identify your car and safely make sure you're the correct pickup person that's supposed to be picking up your child in Carline. If you have a younger sibling, your car placard will be going home with your younger sibling. So if you have a junior hire and an elementary student, that placard will not be in your orientation packet today. It will instead be going home with your elementary student on the first day of school. The logical reasoning there was that you're more likely to check your elementary student's backpack over your junior high student's backpack. So that's why officer with that. Okay, next one. Okay, junior high. We do a lot of fun things in junior high. And it makes junior high special and separate from elementary. So we have monthly socials. So every month during lunchtime, we go out to the lunch benches and we do things like most of it revolves around food. But ice cream socials, gingerbread house building competitions, things of those sorts. We also have special events. We do a welcome back bonfire at Bolsa Chica State Beach. We have quarterly kickback events for students who have passing grades on their report cards, gets to attend those. So we've done bowling, we go to Knott's Berry Farm, we go to the parks. We're thinking about going to Big Ear potentially this year too. So it's just a day. We typically do it on a half day. And it's just a day to just kind of celebrate all of our hard work and progress and just take a little break from academics and enjoy spending time in community with each other. We have the junior high bake-off, the junior high dance at the end of the year, our spirit day themes. We get an extra fun, I think, maybe I'm biased. Spirit day theme in junior highs are anything but a backpack day. We get to bring a vessel to school to carry your things in. It's anything but a backpack. So it's like a fun little tradition that we started. We also have positive behavior tickets that students can earn that then turn into coupons, like getting out of running a mile, getting snacks from the student store, dropping low test scores, sitting next to a friend in class. And then we also have clubs. Our teachers host clubs, but then we also open clubs up to all of our junior high students. So whatever they're passionate about, they can start their own club with a teacher as a chaperone. So the clubs change from year to year as well. So lots of fun things. We like to celebrate our junior hires and have fun in junior high as well as doing academics, right? Moving on. All right, staying in the know. So today you're going to get an orientation packet. It's going to have lots of things in there. There is also your junior high calendar of events listed in that packet. And then each quarter, your child is also going to receive your quarterly events flyer information slip. So that will have a little bit more detailed information on what is going on for events throughout the quarter. And then on the back side of that page will be a permission slip. You'll fill out what events you give your permission or your child permission to attend. And then if there's any money involved, you will attach the money to that and send it back in. And then that way you collect everything all at once and you're not writing a $5 check every other week for events. 5 times during the quarter. We just try to get it all done in one sitting. And then all of this information is always posted on our junior high website under the junior high tab. So you can find if you lose the calendar or if your child comes home and is like, my quarter permission slip is due tomorrow and I can't find it anywhere. Just go to the junior high website, you can print another copy out right there, or you can fill it out digitally and email it to me. That works too. Okay, you guys were all sent a handbook agreement form. So hopefully we spent some time looking through the handbook. But that is going to be your resource for all of our policies and expectations. I'm not going to spend time going through it today because you have the handbook at home to go through. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We also spend the first week of school. We will be on chapel schedule doing junior high rallies every single day where we do fun team building activities and then also go through everything in the handbook with the students so it is very clear what our expectations of everyone is. And then academics, if we have some struggling students, if your child is receiving a D or an F in a class, they will be issued in lunch lab. It is not a punishment, it is just meant to have them come in and get extra help from their teacher intentionally. So we typically send those out weekly on Wednesdays. I'll check your children's grades and anybody who is not passing classes because your child cannot graduate with F's on their report card. So we have to get them up to passing grades to make sure, because one of our goals is to make sure they leave academically prepared, right? So that's just there to help support them. Our behavior plan and policies is to foster Christ-like behavior, just like our Lord Father. He is gracious and kind, but also just. We want to make sure that we're holding our kids accountable so that they leave here as responsible citizens. Cell phones are not allowed on campus during the school day. So if your child has a cell phone, they can bring it to campus and they will be checking it in to their homeroom. There's a lockbox where all the cell phones are kept with very specific designated spots for those. And then they can get them at the end of the day before they go to Carline. Smartwatches on our campus are okay to wear in junior high, but they are only to be used as a watch. Or during PE to track fitness. Otherwise, they need to be in airplane mode. So please do not contact your child via their cell phone or smartwatch during the day. Go through the proper channels and call in the office. And we will get a hold of them and let them know whatever we need to let them know. Thank you, Susan. Okay, Chromebooks are going to be a little bit new this year. So not new in the sense that every 6th grader gets a brand new Chromebook, but new in the sense that so they get a brand new Chromebook in 6th grade and they use the same exact Chromebook all the way through 8th grade. That's been the policy for a while now. But what's changing is that students are now going to be responsible for taking their Chromebook and their charger home, charging it at home, using their Chromebook at home for homework if they need it, and then bringing it back to school the next day. We have a lot of families on campus that are in a few different situations. One, they can't afford a personal device at home. Two, their only device they're using is their parents' work device. And then that gets really sticky with trying to do homework and parent work at the same time, or they're messing with settings on their parents' computer and then things get wacky. Or three, we have a split family, where one has access to devices and the other doesn't. So this is going to kind of help create equity across our student population, as well as give you guys the ownership of taking care of our devices so that they last us all the way through 8th grade. We do highly recommend that you get a cover for it or some sort of carrying sleeve, right, to help protect it. But please know it is still owned by Grace Christian School, so please do not personalize the stickers and fancy colors and those types of things. Okay, cool, thank you. The handbook or the Chromebook agreement that you will get in your orientation packet is due on the first day of school. We will not issue your child their Chromebook until we have that back. So please make sure we get that promptly filled out and brought back to school. All right, moving on here. I'm just going to go through this super quickly. MJHS is a club on our campus. It is our student government. It is the only club that, because it is an honor society, that is an invitation only. So after the first quarter, invitations will go out for that based on GPAs. If your child gets a 3.5 GPA or higher, they will get invited to MJHS, and if they want to apply, all the application details will be in that letter. Perfect. And then action items. Okay, today, before you leave, make sure you turn in your student parent handbook agreement form. If you forgot one, there are extras on the orientation table. 7th and 8th graders, fill out your elective form so I can get you put in a class. Again, if you forgot one, they're on the orientation table. Pick up your orientation packet. That's going to be back behind room 11, right? You're 12, okay, 11. They'll be lined up by last name, and you'll get your orientation packets and your planners. PE clothes are out by the lunch benches. My 6th graders, I would like you to head to PE clothes first, because you don't have a set of PE uniform yet, and we want to make sure we get you at least one set in a size that you need. My 7th and 8th graders, we will get you a size that you need, but there may potentially, we have to order more, so we just want to make sure the 6th graders get taken care of first. Lockers. If you're nervous about setting up your lock, or you want to just practice your new locker combination, go ahead and not set up your locker today. Take your lock home, practice it, and then just bring everything back on the first day of school. I just kindly ask that you do not leave things in your locker without a lock on it over the weekend, okay? And then do we have any questions? Good? All right, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Mrs. Miller. Thank you.
All right, good morning. I'm Mrs. Miller. I teach English language arts for 6th, 7th, 8th grade, so that's what we do all day long in our class. We're reading and writing. Go ahead and move to the next slide. This is my family. I've been married to my husband for 34 years now, and that picture's a couple years old, so I have an updated grandkid picture, because it turns out sometimes your grandkids faster than you have kids. So the three of them are 2.5 and under. I have been teaching my education. I went to Bible University and got my teaching credential in English language arts, secondary, and I have been, I think this is my 8th year here teaching. I did a couple of substituting first. So reading and helping our kids become more literate is my passion. Let's move on. Academic success. Better reading does equal better achieving. Better vocabulary, better test scores. It makes all your subjects easier. It helps teach empathy. Strive at home, even in junior high, for at least 30 minutes of reading a day. It's a hard sell. That kids are busy, they don't want to read, they tell you things like, I don't like books. The thing is, they're never going to have more time to read than they have right now. And they're really busy, a lot of them, but they're not going to have more time to read them right now. So if you could maybe model it at home, you know, we're all going to put down devices and read for they would like to offload their thinking a lot of times to the computer, and that doesn't make good humans. So if you could stand with me in all of our classes to try to help them learn to think, and not just go to Alexa for the answer, or not just go to the AI website for the answer, that would be awesome. In high school, very likely, they will be trained, and actually not in good classes, they will be trained to use AI appropriately within limitations. So if they come home and say, Mr. Monty gave us an assignment, we have to use AI, that's true. If they come home and say, Mrs. Miller said you can do all of this on ChatGPT, that's not true. So, to quote Nancy Reagan, just say no. All right, so percentages for my 7th and 8th grade classes, tests and quizzes are 45% of my grade. Classwork is 45%, and participation is 10%. We do a lot of reading in class, and I ask for reading outside of class. We do writing in class, 7th and 8th grade do Greek and Latin vocabulary, because that helps set them up for language in high school and beyond. And class participation, let's move on. 6th grade, I have to put spelling in there, because we're trying to get them, once again, literate enough that they can recognize the right word when they're given options. So 6th grade still has spelling, and we do reading, AR, writing, spelling, and participation. Testing quizzes are 40%, classwork is 40%, participation is 10%, and AR review is 10%. Which means if your kid did everything perfectly, they still might not get an A if they didn't do any AR tests. So they need to do their AR tests. And a lot of times it's the difference between them having a good grade and not. So please encourage that. Next slide. Thank you. The way to tell your student, number 1, encourage reading, like I said earlier. Let them see you read. The second way you can help your student, if you have appropriate supplies at home, I ask them to print their essays. I want them to have a rough draft. Every time we do a big essay, I want them to come in with a printed rough draft, because they use that for peer editing. And then they need to come in with a clean copy the same week, usually. And that's really difficult to do if there's no working printer at home. So if you could just kind of map that out now and figure out how to have a working printer at home, that would be very helpful. I can help with, upwards of last night. I can help print for those cases, but if I have to print 130 students' essays, that, takes a lot of classroom. Poster paper. For the most part, I actually have figured that one out on my own, but occasionally we need poster paper or project paper. And we'll send you that well in advance. Hopefully, you'll get that actually, and not have it 10 p.m., but I need the printer to work down on. Any questions, comments, or concerns for English?
Google Classroom.
Google Classroom. All of the junior high use Google Classroom regularly. So we will put our assignments in, it's on the assignment, but our weekly agenda is posted in my room, it's posted on the wall. They write it in their planner when they come in on Monday. It's posted on RenWeb, and it is posted in Google Classroom under weekly agenda. So anytime you need to know what's going on in any of our junior high classes, you can go into Google Classroom, have your student take you into Google Classroom, and it can show you the weekly agenda. All right, any questions? All right, well, I believe I'm passing it on to Mrs. Matson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carrie Matson, and I teach math here for junior high. I've been here for, this is my 5th year. Sorry, what am I doing? Deer in the headlights. This is my family, so this is new for me because my daughter is entering 6th grade, so this is a first. So we've got Harper here, she's coming up, and so my husband Eric has been married for 19 years, and almost. And we got Holly, she's in 4th grade this year coming up, so, I went to Westmont College and got my degrees in math and Spanish, and I'm not using my Spanish so much. You'll see it, you'll see what I'm doing. But, Yeah, and I started teaching at Fullerton High School in 2001, and I was there for about 15 years, and then Harper came along and I took some time off, and they asked me to come here at Grace, and so it's been a blessing. So we've been all able to hang out together, and it's been fun here, and I've enjoyed it. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks. So here are my math goals. And I know coming up from 5th grade to 6th grade, when you come from an atmosphere from a single teacher to now junior high, we have a limited supply of time. We don't have as much time to get math done as a normal elementary school would get. Because sometimes, you know, if you teach a lesson, you can kind of adjust your time in elementary school. I only have a limited time, I think 47 minutes, right?
47.
47 minutes with the kids, so I have enough time to get them in, get them settled, go over some questions, teach them a new concept, and then allow them time in class to work on the math in class, and hopefully we get to that time, because that time is crucial for kids to start practicing the skills. My math goals are for them to achieve success in math, and that's just a lot of times is building confidence. Because a lot of our students, they're like, I don't like math, I don't want to do it, and they just need the confidence, most of them. To become more well-rounded and self-sufficient learners, to prepare them for high school and beyond high school, and then for them to become high-level problem solvers and critical thinkers that they'll use something in life when they, you know, whatever job they decide to go into. Some of them might want to be a doctor someday, some of them might want to go into engineering. I'm not sure, and they probably don't know at this point yet. Some of them do. My younger brother maybe wanted to be a pastor when he was like 9. So it just depends on the student. So my goal is to prepare all of them, and whatever field they decide to go into, then hopefully they'll be ready to go hit the ground running, whatever they decide to do. Go ahead, Jeff. My grading percentages, 50% of the grades is composed of tests, quizzes, and projects. 25% are daily assignments, and 25% are notes. So 50% is just effort, getting the work done, getting the notes done. It's 50-50. And then if they do not do well, let's say they're not a good test taker, quiz taker, there's time for them to come in and retake tests. So they always have the opportunity, if they're not getting it, they can relearn it or come in and get help and retake it. I don't want them to struggle. So that's not one of my goals. So I do want them to be successful. Okay, go ahead. So here are some tips for success. How can you help your child be successful in math? So, go ahead. Okay, so number 1, be present. So just being present in school. If they're missing a lot of school, they're gonna fall behind. So, you know, number 1, just be present so that they're learning. Do all of the work, the notes, the homework, the projects. Particularly the homework is where they're gonna do that practice part of the math, and they're gonna figure it out on their own doing that, okay? Make corrections and analyze their mistakes. So every day, if they have an assignment, they'll come in, they'll have the opportunity to correct it, and then fix it. And if they're missing a whole bunch of problems, I don't want them to turn their homework into me. I want them to hold on to it and fix it so that they get it. I'd rather them understand it rather than, you know, just get the whole problem, you know, the whole assignment done and then just turn it in. So as long as they're understanding, that's the key. Asking questions and seeking help immediately. Mrs. Ginger talked about this a little bit earlier, but if we get to a subject and they're not getting it, come in, ask immediately for help. And I know this is hard for a lot of us because we're like, I don't understand in class, but ask for help. Come and see me at lunch. Come and see me before school, after school. Just, you know, come and get some help if you're not getting it. And then I put there practice, because it always makes perfect. When you're learning a sport, when you're learning an instrument, to play an instrument, you're not going to get better unless you practice it. So you have to practice math if you're going to perfect it. You got to practice it. And it's, you know, not over and over and over again, so you're like blue in the face, but you got to be able to practice it. one of the things I wanted to mention earlier, since, we don't have as much time in class, the homework does come home, they do get a little bit more homework in math than they would in some of the others, like, they expect it on a daily basis. But if they don't have it, you know, when they come home, say, okay, did you finish your math? Okay, finish your math, and then, you know, move on, but sometimes there's not homework, but, sorry, I don't mean to do that to you guys. Go ahead, I think there's one more. Oh, okay, these are our courses and units of study. Basically, sixth grade math builds on the same curriculum that they used last year and the previous years for third, fourth, I'm not sure about third grade, fourth and fifth grade for sure. It's the same text, the Scott Forsman book. So it just kind of builds on that same material that they've already been used to. When they change to seventh and eighth, students go into pre-algebra and then eighth grade algebra from there. I won't go over, all of this is in the syllabus, it's in the orientation packet, so I won't go over every little thing that we're going to be covering, but that's basically the idea of what's going on. Go ahead. Okay, so I'm in room 24, which is the one by the playground. Everybody's hanging out by the room. So if you have any questions, please come and see me or email me or call if you have any questions at all. And again, Google Classroom, as Mrs. Miller was saying, is a great resource for finding out what's going on. For math, I will send them home with a monthly calendar that kind of outlines what we're doing each day, each week for a month. Sometimes I gotta tweak it because, you know, there's certain events that happen on campus. I'm like, oh no. So sometimes I'll post that on Google Classroom, but I'll also give them a copy of it. They can just keep it in their notebook. That way if they're absent, they know, oh, okay, I know exactly what we're doing today. There's also a video lesson for each lesson that we're doing that's posted on Google Classroom. I forgot to mention that. I try and post that the night before we're going to do a lesson. So let's say we're talking about probability. I'll post the lesson the night before, and if the student wants to watch it beforehand, and that way they know what's going on before we do the lesson, they might be a step ahead. But even if they're absent, they can watch the video, take notes off the video, and they won't fall behind. So they'll always be able to keep up. So that's also posted in Google Classroom. And there's also a weekly agenda posted on the back of the classroom as well. So please feel free to come and see me if you guys have any questions at all. Okay, next up is Espanol.
Hola, buenos días, good morning everyone. I am Senora Monti, that is what the students call me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, so next slide. Todo sobre mí. My husband and I will be married 36 years this October. We have a son, as many of you know, that is Mr. Monti. Mr. Monti is my husband, but the other Mr. Monti here on campus is my son. So it's kind of funny to hear that. But he's the media teacher here for some of you that know him and have taken his classes. So it's exciting to be working with him as well. We also take care of my beautiful 91-year-old mom. And she and my father migrated here from Argentina. Our family comes from France, Spain, and Italy. And so Spanish is my first language. We have 2 cats and 3 birds, quite a circus sometimes as we're pulling cats off of bird cages. Sometimes my husband and I have been in drama and worship ministries for almost 40 years now. And I'll say that the Lord has completely and totally blessed me with my career in education since 1992. At my previous school, I taught kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten, 5th grade, 6th grade, and extracurricular Spanish. And then this is my 6th year here at Grace Christian, my 5th year teaching in the junior high. And it's been a true blessing, so all the glory goes to the Lord. So, next slide. Alright, so in this course I use several worksheets. We don't have a particular textbook for my class, so we use worksheets, online resources, experiences. We have a video program called Senior Lily that the kids really enjoy. We play games in our class, and it engages the students as much as possible. So conversations are encouraged as we work on phrases and verb conjugations each week, especially as each grade progresses. So, sometimes sixth graders are a little, oh no, I have to take Spanish. I meet you where you're at, and we just progress from there, and we have a lot of success in our program, so it's been really great. Next slide. All right, so I'm the stickler about this one thing that I ask the kids to have is a stitched college rule. One more time, college rule. Composition notebook. The kids follow me as I do this notebook, and we grade them each quarter, and it has to progress as mine progresses. So when their book is not matching mine, it gets them very frustrated and it gets off. So I really ask that you have that. If you're not sure if you have one, I'll have an example of one in my classroom so you guys can take a look at it. It just has the stitching going down the middle. And I ask that it's the ones that have at least 70 pages, it's 140 front and back. My class syllabus is in your packet and it's very thorough. It's also posted on Google Classroom, so once your child goes into Google Classroom, it's posted there as well. We're gonna be going over it the first days of school, and then you'll return the signed acknowledgement that's attached in the very back on the due date. And it is their first homework assignment, so it's worth 10 points and something that you both sign and return by the due date that's posted on that paper. Next slide. All right, so each student is evaluated from where they're at. So I have students that speak absolutely zero, no Espanol, to some, to fluent Spanish speakers that we'll have conversations in class with. So, like I said, it's like, I meet them where they're at, and we go from there. So it's just different for everybody. Weekly participation behavior is 20%. So participation and a good attitude about it is key in my class. Graded worksheets, the video assignments, composition notebooks, and reading aloud and simple projects are 35%, test quizzes and major project presentations are 45%, and if there's something missing in RunWeb, it'll show up as a 0 until they get it turned in, and then if it's late, it is 25% off unless it's an excused absence and they get so many days to make it up and then they'll get their credit from there. So that's my grading percentages. Alright, so this is not an exhaustive list, but it is how we kind of scaffold from 6th grade to 8th grade. So this is also in your packet, so you don't have to like take a picture of it or read it or anything like that. But it just kind of shows what we hit in 6th grade and then review in 7th grade and add on top of that and then on top of that into 8th grade. And most of the time, depending on the success of the students, when they get to high school, a lot of them go into Spanish too. So, and I've even had some go into Spanish 3. And some just take the easy route and go to Spanish 1. Because I just want to be great and I say, good for you, that's awesome, do it. I did. So, alright, next slide. Alright, so rewards in my class, there are different incentives in my classroom. I have class privileges, we do the tickets, I have an economic system, which is our Monty Mangoes, which is our class money. Students earn tickets, sweet treats, class money for good behavior, participation in the games we play in our class. So, this economic system that I use is very specific for our mercado that we have in the spring time. So this is something that the kids look forward to. The 8th graders do a huge project as they get ready to do a Spanish market. They plan a business with their friends, they plan a product, and it gets sold. And then our 7th and 6th graders will come in as the patrons. And the more money you have, the more success you have at this market. So we always look forward to it every year at the end of the year. So that's what we use our Monty Mangoes for. So that's nice. So muchas gracias. I appreciate your time this morning and coming out. If you do have any questions, you can email me or you can come into room 12 and ask me any questions you may have regarding our Spanish program. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce Mr.
Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Fortune. I get to teach Bible here for our junior high, which is a blessing for me. It's a lot of fun and we have a great time. This is going to be my 2nd year teaching at Grace. But if you go to the next slide, I didn't just teach here like Miss Major. This is 4-year-old me on my first day at Grace. Back a while ago, I covered up the date on the picture. picture of Smith. I'm guessing like we were all of last year for those of you who are returning. But I came here from TK all the way up through 5th grade, and then went to junior high, high school, college, the whole thing. So I'm going to go to the next slide. These are some pictures of my family. So I have 2 kiddos. Also, I have a 3-year-old Banks and a 9-month-old Bodie, who was born in December also, just a couple weeks before Austin was born. We love being outside at the beach, doing fun stuff, hanging out. They keep us busy all the time, but they're a blast to spend time with. So a little bit about me on the next slide. I went to Grand Canyon University out in Phoenix, Arizona, where it is like 120 degrees right now. So don't complain about the heat, because it could be a whole lot hotter if you were somewhere else. But I went out there, my wife and I met out there. We've been married for just about 5 years now. Like I said, we have 2 kids in the last 5 years. We've been back in California for a couple years since being married. When we were out in Arizona, I got my degree in theology, and so after finishing college, I worked on staff at our church for a couple of years in a pastoral role. I ran a couple different ministries there, including our college ministry. When I come back and visit home, I help out with the junior high and high school ministry, the church I grew up at. So all the things, lots of different places and experience being in different like ministerial and church roles. And then once I moved back here, we had some things shift around in our life and fall into place, and ended up having the opportunity to come back to Grace and teach here, which has been just a blast for me to be back here. I had such a great experience as a student here, and so being able to be back with students here, being able to give back some of the experience that I was able to have and help build foundations for them to take into their life has been really such a blessing. Our curriculum, we have a little bit of a shift from our curriculum last year, so if you are a returning student, there's a little bit of a difference in our curriculum from what it was last year. Our 6th grade curriculum stayed the same, so we use the Winning the Race workbook. It's like a Christian Worldview 101. It walks through all of the major themes and ideas of what's going on in the Bible. If you've never heard anything about Christianity before, this is a great crash course on everything there is to know about the Bible and Jesus and all the major topics and themes we'll talk about. We'll talk about the rhythms of the Christian life, different biblical knowledge and information, as well as understanding how to engage with the Bible and apply it to your life, right? So in all 3 classes, both different books that we use, my goal is less that you walk away being a Bible trivia whiz and knowing all of the facts and information and being able to memorize and regurgitate things, but rather my goal is more that you understand how to engage with the Word of God, how to open the Bible and have a meaningful time looking at what is happening in stories and the different things that are being taught in the Bible and how those can actually apply to you and your life personally. A lot of times, maybe you guys are in this boat now, students and parents alike, but when you read the Bible, it just is a lot of words and there's not a whole lot of meaning to some of the words. And it's really helpful on Sunday when someone explains all the things to you, but there's not much in your own personal devotion and study time that you're able to pull significant meaning out of. My goal for your students and for the students that are coming into my class is that they are able to read the Bible and actually have it mean something to them. That they're able to understand the stories and themes and threads that are being woven throughout Scripture so that they can actually pull meaning out of what's going on in the Bible and apply it to their life to see it make a difference in their spiritual walk and the way they engage with the world as ambassadors for Christ, right? 7th to 8th grade, the transition we have here, 7th grade used a separate curriculum last year that I talked to administration about and we moved away from instead. So we were using the Route 66 book for 7th and 8th grade. So that means that for 7th graders, when you get your Route 66 book this year, you'll keep that workbook for 7th grade, turn it in at the end of the year, and then get issued the same book again in 8th grade because we're only going to use half of it in 7th grade and then the other half in 8th grade. So Route 66 walks through the whole Bible, all 66 books of the Bible, Genesis through Revelation. Last year, teaching with the 8th graders, we found out when we got to Christmas and we were only like 8 books of the Bible through the Bible, and there were 66 to get through, that there was just no way to meaningfully spend significant time understanding what's going on in each book of the Bible and get through 66 books of the Bible in 30 whatever weeks. It just doesn't happen. And so we switched this year. Our 7th grade is going to be focusing exclusively on the New Testament and build that foundation of understanding who Jesus is and what Jesus has done, laying that foundation for their understanding of the Christian faith, And then 8th grade, we'll dive deeper into the Old Testament and some of the things going on as God weaves his story through all of the early fathers of the Bible, the heroes of the faith, the Moses' and Noah's and Abraham's and David's and Isaac's and the judges and the prophets and all those kinds of things we'll dive deeper into in 8th grade. So we'll split that curriculum in half between those 2 years. It'll be a lot of fun to be able to slow down a little bit and take more time, really unpacking the stories that are going on and how they fit together as their own individual story, but also as this overarching, beautiful picture that unpacks God's heart for all of creation, all of the world, for all of time across the length of the Bible. Next slide. So like I said, my goal is that you're growing in your personal relationship with Jesus. My goal is also that you're understanding and to engage with the Bible and know things, not just knowing things about the Bible, but understanding how to engage with the Bible, to apply significance and meaning to the way that Jesus invites us to engage in his world. Jesus has a personal plan for all of us to be involved in what he is doing. And so my goal is as we unpack what is happening in the Bible, that's informing how Jesus forms his plan for your life. Right? Everything that he does, he teaches us through the Word. I believe that if we spend time reading and understanding the Word, that's going to translate to our spiritual growth, our engagement in Christian community, our engagement in the world as ambassadors of Christ. So to be able to do this, we need to come to class on time and prepared, ready to go. We need to be participating and engaging in what's going on, right? It's going to be really difficult for us to be able to get involved in what's happening in what we're learning if we're not actually getting involved in learning in class. So being engaged and involved in class is important. Taking pride in what you do, right? So much of this class, so much of your junior high experience and your life experience hinges on the effort you're willing to put into it, right? You get out of something what you're willing to put into it, and that's very true for your junior high experience and for my class, that when you come and you're engaged and you're putting effort into class and you're taking pride in the work you do, we're not all going to be like judged on the exact same scale because somebody can put in 10% effort might turn into something that's way different. Someone can put in hours and hours and hours of sleepless nights of work. And I don't want you all to put in sleepless nights of work, but I want you to take pride in the work that you're doing. Putting effort into it, something that you can confidently look at and say that you're proud of doing. And we're pursuing Christ likeness in everything we do. The way we engage with our work, the way we engage with our peers, the way we engage with staff, the way we engage with other activities and opportunities on campus. Grading, participation, classwork, homework, quizzes, 30% of your grades. Like I said, that's all effort. Like those things should be easy for you to get 30% out of 30% on that part of your grade. That's all just based on your effort. Tests are going to be 25% of your grade, and projects, group and individual projects. We'll do essays in Bible class, we'll do projects in Bible class, we'll do group projects, individual projects, collaborative learning, all different kinds of things that we get to do all together. That's 45% of your grade. Absences, similar to our junior high policy, every excused absence each week to complete that work, and late work will show up as a 0 in the grade book. So if all of a sudden your grade just dumps off 40% because you forgot to turn in your assignment, there's a good chance it might just be missing. So it's your responsibility to stay on top of your grade book. I'm not going to hunt you down, and none of your other teachers are going to hunt you down. Every time they put a missing assignment in the grade book, you are responsible to be checking on that and coming to get it fixed. Makes sense? Yes, so,
Good morning, I am Denise Van Nessel, and I am a social studies teacher here at Grace. It is my second year teaching social studies in junior high, and if I could say anything, junior high is really fun. So, next slide. A little bit about myself. This is my 12th year teaching at Grace. I did 10 years in 4th grade, and this is my second year in junior high. My son just graduated from Grace last year. He is in high school, and those are some pictures of us visiting my sister in Texas. You have to go to Bucky's to get your afterwards. And then we did a vacation in Hawaii, and then a picture of him graduating. So that is a little bit about me. For social studies in 6th grade, we're going to learn about ancient civilizations. So we'll be looking at early civilizations into the Roman Empire. In your junior high packet you get today, it'll be more detailed about each of the individual units of study. So 6th grade is ancient civilization, 7th grade is medieval history, so we will start where we ended with the Roman Empire and move to the Renaissance, and then 8th grade is U.S. history from independence to 1914. Next slide. Helping your students with social studies. Make sure you read through the syllabus. We'll be doing that over the first couple days of class, but that kind of goes through the guidelines of what's expected in social studies. And it will be posted in Google Classroom. They will also get a hard copy in the packet today. Make sure that they are organized, make sure they have the proper supplies, pencils, paper, their Chromebook. Because we do a lot of, I give them like handouts to fill in with me, so just make sure they have the supplies to be able to be successful. And then staying organized is definitely key with keeping papers because they will be helpful for their test. A lot of it becomes a study guide. For attendance, make sure that they're here on time if they're not sick. It does help to be in class because you don't miss as much. And then make sure you're checking facts or web. That is where the grade will be shown. And you can also be checking in Google. It'll show your missing any assignments. So. Alright, some expectations. I expect that we are prepared for class and making sure we're organized, that we're able to find our stuff, and to be productive. If you use your class time wisely, you should not have that much homework in social studies. Now, if you're messing around and not focusing, you may have more. So stay on task, be productive, make sure you're polite, respect your teachers, respect your fellow students in the classroom. Be prompt, be on time, and be patient. It does take time to learn, and so be patient with yourself and with the teachers who make mistakes and things too. And that's it. The way that my class is broken down, tests are worth 35%, projects are worth 25%, daily assignments are 30%, and then
Our participation is 10%. If your child is absent, like Mr. Fortune said, the school policy is we get 2 days for every 1 day of absence to return stuff in. And then for missing or late work, I will put an in, but it does show up as a 0 on your side. If there is a 0, have your child come talk to me about that grade and get that fixed. Alright, next slide. And then for 8th graders, we get to go to Washington DC this year. It is an awesome trip. It is so fun. The dates are March 20 to 25, and we've already had some meetings. If you have questions about that, I can give you more information if you were unable to attend that. But it is a great trip if you're able to make it. And I get the privilege of introducing our new science teacher, Mrs. I'm no longer one of your lunch ladies, now I'm a chapter in my life. Let's start out with the Bible verse that I think is very good. This is from the King James Version. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. I think it speaks to that like mental zing we get whenever we find some cool prophetic thing that God has put and it just, you know, he's in control of it. So, but I really love the Message Bible version. Next slide. God delights in concealing things. Scientists delight in discovering things. What? God has created an amazingly, mind-blowingly complex world, beautifully logical, a closed system with checks and balances. And as our temporary home, and hello?
Sure, thank you.
It's our privilege to learn about this world, and I think as we learn, now we're much closer. It's our privilege to learn more about it, and I think as we learn about this amazing world He's created for us, it should inspire awe and worship of Him as our Creator. A little bit about myself. My husband and I are both from Every gas station, every grocery store. I worked in private industry for 4 years, first culturing, highly infectious intracellular bacteria for serological testing. Then I got the itch to go back to school, went to UCI. I love biotechnology, I think it's fascinating and exciting. I did 1 year teaching as a second year grad student of first year lab, the year before me, for a lab class. That and homeschooling my kids for a year or two is about my experience in teaching, so a little bit of grace from you would be appreciated. I had fun at UCI working on genetic engineering of mosquitoes to try to tackle malaria. And again, I worked in private industry working on optimizing antibodies, chemotherapy agents to make them a better chemotherapy drug. Next slide. This is my family. All three of my kids went here for more time, each kid, more time, because we see the value in the school and we very wholeheartedly in its mission. So my oldest, Tom, he is now a junior at UCI. He came here 4th through 6th. Mrs. Van Gessel's first year teaching was our first year here, so. Drew, second child, he is a senior at Kennedy. He went here 1st through 5th grade. And then our youngest May just graduated. She went 1st through 8th grade. So each year we're like, we just got to stay very long. So anyway, next slide. 6th grade, we're going to be doing geology, plate tectonics and their effects on the earth, the atmosphere, weather, ecosystem. Next slide. 7th grade, this is my heart subject. So I try not to show favoritism, but the electromagnetic spectrum, cell structure and function, evolution. Okay, before there's a collective jaw tightening in the room. For the parents that don't want evolution shoved down your throat, I feel you, I am. That is why one of the reasons we start kids here is I don't like that ideology shoved, and I think it can be used as a means of tearing kids away from God. But it is an ideology that's out there. We need to know about it. We're going to be tackling the evidence given and the weaknesses of the evidence. So we're gonna
Christian School. I teach PE with my counterpart, Mr. Kim in the back right there. All right, a little introduction about myself, my time at GCS. I started as a daycare worker here, worked my way up, and then I am now the daycare director. I am the PE teacher, I am the athletic director, so I've been here for a while. I've seen the ins and outs of this place, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My family, that's my wife and my first son, Paxton. I recently picked up running, that's a mistake, and basketball is my true passion. I love basketball, I can play it all day, every day. All right, moving on. All right, about PE. So what we do is we have here children, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We have 6th graders on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 7th and 8th graders, we have you on Tuesday and Thursdays. For this, and Friday. For PE, we play softball, we teach them basketball, volleyball, kickball, everything with a ball. We play flag football too, that's pretty cool one. And then we also do a bunch of like new tag games that we haven't done before. There might be something new that we're gonna introduce, but I will share that with the students a little later in the year. For the attire, that's the main thing for PE that we are trying to focus on. It is their responsibility to make sure they come to our class with this red PE shirt right here, not covered up with a jersey, with a jacket. They should have their red PE shirt and their black PE shorts. The name doesn't matter on the shorts. We want to see it on the shirt with your first name initial and your last name, so we can see it visibly. Yes. On the colder days, so that's in the winter time, we are allowing students to wear those leggings, but they must wear their shorts on top of that. No more sweats on top. We need to see that you are visibly wearing your PE shorts. That is your responsibility as students to come prepared to class. All right. So that's like bringing your backpack, your book, your pencils, your PE uniform is your equipment. Yes. And as well as athletic shoes. So we are not doing Crocs. We're not doing Birkenstocks. You can get away with Vans, but it might be tough when we like move around and stuff like that. So, but I've seen it done. But yes, closed-toed shoes, not Crocs, not Birkenstocks. Like Ms. Painter said, you don't need to dress out. Next week on Wednesday and Thursday, because we're going to be doing assemblies in there. Friday would be the first day that your child needs to be fully dressed out. Again, we're not going to be doing anything too crazy. It's just going over the curriculum with your students. And then for 6th graders, today, please be the first ones to get your PE uniform. You don't have a pair like you said, so we want to make sure you guys get the right size for you guys. And that is it. Expectations, we're just looking for attendance, make sure you're prepared, and effort. So we're not asking you to run the mile in 6 minutes. You can run it as long as you're walking, jogging, just showing some sort of effort. You're not holding hands with your friend talking about what you guys watch on Netflix. Athletics. So we provide 4 sports here at Grace. For the fall, we have girls basketball. We have a coach in place for that already, so we are ready to rock. When they get their curriculum for PE, I will also be handing out tryout letters for that. Boys flag football. Our coach recently had his nephew that went to Grace here. He is now at Valley, so he went along with his nephew to Valley. So we are in need of a boys flag football coach. If you know anybody, please contact me. Just a little rundown of that. Practices are at whatever your availability would be, but it's usually a Monday through Wednesday after school, 3:30 to 4:30 if you can. And then games are usually on Thursdays and Wednesdays. And that is all around OC Christian schools in the area. For the winter, we have girls volleyball, which won first place last year. And then we have boys basketball as well. We have coaches for both of those sports, so just be on the lookout for that when it rolls around after December. With that said, that is my spiel for today. If you have any questions, I'll be out at the lunch table if you have any questions about PE uniforms or PE or athletics. Thank you very much.